Grice's cooperative principle, conversational maxims. Grice's cooperative principle or conversational maxims is a concept or theory associated with pragmatics. It was propounded by a linguist, Paul Grice, and it is based off of the notion that conversants are guided by certain unwritten principles that are conventionally agreed upon. Whenever people engage in communication, there are certain maxims they adhere to in order to facilitate effective communication. These principles help receivers or hearers decode meaning of what is left unsaid by the speaker. People who engage in a discourse do not just speak at random or arbitrarily, rather their interaction is based on cooperation, and this cooperation is influenced by the maxims enunciated by Paul Grice: Maxim of Quantity, Maxim of Quality, Maxim of Relevance, Maxim of Manner, Maxim of Quantity. This maxim states that you must give your hearer just about enough information for them to understand what you are talking to them about. That is, you should give relevant information that is also compact, containing the necessary information needed by your interlocutor to decode your messages. Take for instance, when a teacher is educating her students about nouns, she is expected to teach them based on their level of education, so as not to overload them with information, or stuff them with more information than is necessary for their level. Such a teacher must teach according to the syllabus of her students' level, and provide adequate information for the understanding of the concept. The Maxim of Quantity also states that you must not give more information than is necessary or needed by your interlocutor. This can lead to obscurity of your message, which would result in either misinterpretation or confusion. Maxim of Quality. You must provide your hearers or interlocutors with verifiable information that can be proven to be true beyond reasonable doubts. Your messages must be sincere and honest, lacking any form of deceit or con. Take for instance, a politician that promises his electorates that he would wipe out the dregs of society once he or she gets into power, but does otherwise when they get sworn into office, can be said to be flouting the Maxim of Quality. The Maxim of Quality also states that you must not say that for which you have no evidence. This means that your statements must be factual, having sources that can validate their claims as being true beyond reasonable doubts. For instance, if you greet an adult good morning, it has to be morning as at the time of your greeting, for your greeting to align with the Maxim of Quality, because that would be evidence backing your statement as true. Maxim of Relevance. At every point in time, your conversations must be in line with your topic of discourse, or at least it must be somewhat related. The Maxim of Relevance states that your contribution to a conversation must be related to the topic on ground. Take for instance, in a gathering where people are discussing possible turnouts of an upcoming election, if you walk in there and ask them what their favorite enemy is, you would have flouted the Maxim of Relevance. This is because your contribution is not in any way related to the topic of discourse, and so it is found to be lacking in relevance. Maxim of Manner. Maxim of Manner states that your contribution to a conversation must be free of ambiguity. That is, it must be easily understood and not open to a number of interpretations, which could leave your listener confused or end up misinterpreting your message. Also, your contribution to a conversation must be clear and to the point. No beating about the bush, just hit the nail on the head by clearly stating your points. Your contribution must not be obscure, so you must employ the use of easy-to-understand lexical items to make it possible for your listeners to decode your messages. And finally, your message must be organized and presented in an orderly manner, not haphazardly. Your ideas must be presented in a coherent and logical manner containing just about enough information to clarify your point. So the cooperative principle focuses on the unspoken rules of conversation that guide interaction between speakers. These unspoken rules, according to Grice, are categorized into four maxims, namely, the Maxim of Quantity, the Maxim of Quality, the Maxim of Relevance, and the Maxim of Manner. Speakers and listeners in a conversation agree to cooperate in a conversation by adhering to these maxims in order to ensure that that which is left unsaid can be interpreted. A flouting of these maxims will then result in implicature. See you soon.